Welcome students to our fourth session of amines. Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. That means if only you understand the things at proper time, then there is no reason for you to fear. That means before exam, if you study well, then you will be not afraid of the exam, but you will be able to attempt the questions properly and successfully. Let's begin our fourth session of amines. So in this session, we are going to see the influence of plus I effect, influence of solvation, combined influence and basicity of aryl amines. So beginning with our first topic, that is influence of plus I effect. Here you can see some of the structures are given here. So what is plus I effect? Plus I effect is the positive inductive effect. Now what is positive inductive effect? Chemical species with the tendency to release or donate electron, such as an alkyl group. You can see in the structure alkyl group is there, which is represented by R. So this alkyl group has the tendency to release or donate the electron when it is to a carbon chain. The charge is relayed through the chain and that charge is called as the positive inductive effect, or in short you can say the plus I effect. So here influence means how it influences the structure. What will be the effect? Plus I effect on stabilization of conjugate acid of aliphatic amines and NH3 can be represented as. So as in the definition we have said that the charge is relayed on the another group. That means here alkyl group, that is the R, it gives or it donates the electron, and therefore the arrow is given from R towards the nitrogen atom, and therefore the nitrogen gets the positive charge. In the structure you can see that nitrogen is having the plus sign, that is the positive charge. Alkyl group exerts electron releasing plus I effect. As we have said in the given example, alkyl group they exert, that means they create a plus I effect, and because of this plus I effect it stabilizes positive charge on atom bonded to it. So to the alkyl group whatever atom is attached, it stabilizes the atom by giving the positive charge to the particular atom, and here the atom is nitrogen. Next we are going to see the increasing order of stabilization and basic strength. So here order of stabilization, how the compounds get stabilized. Here ions are given, groups are given, so order is given, that is NH4, RNH3, R2NH2, R3NH, and expected order of basic strength is given. So as we move from conjugate acid of ammonia, that is NH4, to R3NH, that is tertiary amine, number of alkyl groups increases. First, ammonia is having more amount of hydrogen atom, and as we get primary, secondary and tertiary amine, then in the tertiary amine the number of alkyl groups are increased. This increases stability of conjugate acids and also the increases order of basic strength. As the number of alkyl group increases, the stability of conjugate acid also increases, and the expected order of basic strength you can see below, that is NH3 is less than the primary amine. Primary amine has the less basic strength than the secondary amine, and since the tertiary amine has more amount of alkyl group, it has the more amount of basic strength. Therefore, which is the greatest? The tertiary amine. Next is the influence of solvation. How solvation influences the amine or the particular species. So what is meant by solvation? So we can say that it is an interaction of solute with the solvent. When solute and solvent, solute means the particles which get dissolved in the solution or solvent. When solute and solvent come together, we get the solution. So this interaction between solute and solvent which leads to stabilization of the solute species in the solution. Because of their interaction, the solution gets the stability. So here our first point is water stabilizes the conjugate acid by hydrogen bonding to nitrogen. So here, which is the solute, they are the conjugate acid and the solvent is the water. Hydrogen atom decreases from 4 to 1. You can see NH4, that is here 4 hydrogen atoms are there, and in tertiary amine only 1 hydrogen atom is there. And because of this, NH4 best stabilizes by solvation. So because of the solvation, because of the solute and solvent interaction, NH4 best stabilizes by solvation method. This is the influence of solvation on ammonia. While tertiary amine is very poor stabilization by solvation, it gets very less stabilized by the solvation method. So this was that influence of solvation. Next we are going to see, here are the structures given. Influence of solvation by whom? By water on stabilization of conjugate acids, and conjugate acids of what? They are the conjugate acids of aliphatic amines and ammonia. Here you can see that nitrogen is attached to the 4 hydrogen atom, and this 4 hydrogen atom is attached to the water molecule. Now as you can see here, the next structure, in the second structure, alkyl group is attached. So here alkyl group is attached because one hydrogen has become less, and because of the alkyl group gives the positive charge to the nitrogen atom. So these are the structures how the hydrogen atom get less and the alkyl groups are attached to the nitrogen atom. Next we are going to see the combined influence. The combined influence, we have seen the two types of influence. First is the plus I effect and second is the solvation. So this solvation and plus I effect we are going to see combine. Basic strength and pKb value. In last session we have seen pKb, that is the base dissociation constant values, operate in opposite direction. You can see two arrows are given where solvation is exceeding in the left hand direction while plus I effect is exceeding in the right hand direction. That means if combined influence is there, then these both influences work in the opposite directions. Next topic is the basicity of arylamine. Arylamines are weaker bases than ammonia and aliphatic amines. Here reaction is given. Here first is the base and another one is the conjugate acid. So here we have seen that arylamines are weaker bases than ammonia and aliphatic amine. Strength is explained with Lowry-Bronsted theory. The strength of the base and the conjugate acid is given by Lowry-Bronsted theory. Both are resonance stabilized to different extent. Base and conjugate acid, these both have the different value of stabilization. NH2 group is attached to the aromatic ring. You can see in the first structure where the base is given, NH2 group is attached to the aromatic ring, and there is the presence of lone pair. Lone pair conjugated to ring, that is less available for protonation. The conjugated lone pair is attached to the ring, which is very less available for protonation. It is not available for protonation. It doesn't do the protonation process. This was about the basicity of aryl amines. Next is aniline. We are going to see the structure of aniline and how the resonance takes place in aniline. Now, what is resonance? In resonance, you can see that the electrons are delocalized. Delocalized means the electrons are getting shifted from one place to another on the structure so that the given structure is stabilized. To get the stabilization, the electrons move, and this movement of electron is called as the resonance. Here you can see 5 structures are given where the lone pair gets lone pair means what? They are the electrons. They get shifted and the single bond becomes double bond in the second structure. While the adjacent bond, that which is the double bond, it gets shifted, and again you can see the shifting of electron. Since there is the shifting of electron, here minus sign is given, that is the presence of electron, and because of this electron movement, the double bond is also shifted from one place to another, that is inside the ring itself. This is called the resonance. And in resonance, if you get many structures, that means it is more stabilized, it is moving towards the stabilization. So this was the resonance in aniline. Next we are going to see the anilium ion. In anilium ion, you can see here only 2 structures are given. So it is obtained by accepting a proton. It is obtained by accepting a proton. That means it takes the protons from the another one and doesn't have lone pair on nitrogen. You can see that there is the positive sign on nitrogen, and there we have not shown the lone pair because here the protons are accepted. If any species accepts the proton, that is the positively charged particle, then it gets the positive charge. So here it can be stabilized by only 2 resonance structure. We have seen in aniline resonance structure there were 5 structures, while in anilium ion there are only 2 structures. Hence anilium ion is less stabilized than aniline. We can say aniline has more structures, it is more stabilized, it has more resonance, while in anilium there are only 2 structures and they are less stabilized. Next we are going to see some chemical properties of amine. In last session we have seen the physical properties. Now here to see the chemical properties, here some tests and reactions are given. On the basis of that reactions, the chemical properties are described. So the first reaction here is test for amines as the base. Test for amines to show that they are basic in nature, they are the base. So here reaction is given. You can see amine, that is water soluble amine. How is the amine? Water insoluble. Insoluble means what? They are not getting dissolved in water. Water insoluble amine dissolves in aqueous HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. They are insoluble in water, but they get dissolved in hydrochloric acid. Due to the formation of water soluble substituted ammonium chloride, we get here substituted ammonium chloride, and because of the formation of this substituted ammonium chloride, again if we reacted it with excess of aqueous NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, then because of this excess reaction we get, or it regenerates the original insoluble amine. So what happens here in this reaction? First the amine is there which is insoluble in water but it dissolves in HCl. Then after that we get the substituted ammonium chloride. And how is this substituted ammonium chloride? This ammonium chloride is soluble in water. This soluble substituted ammonium chloride reacts with excess of aqueous NaOH, and again we get our first reactant. What was that? That is the original insoluble amine. Again we are getting the insoluble amine, and this amine is not, it does not dissolve in water. So this was the chemical test for the amines to prove that they are the base. Next reaction is the diazotization reaction, or you can also call it as orange dye test. So in this orange dye test, the aromatic primary amine means it is a primary amine, only one hydrogen is replaced by the alkyl group, and here aromatic ring is directly attached to the nitrogen, hence we call it the aromatic primary amine. This aromatic primary amine is reacted with 1 to 2 ml of concentrated HCl and aqueous NaNO2. And here in bracket cooling is given. That means when these reactions are taken out, that time this reaction, here the temperature is maintained, that is at 0 degrees Celsius. They are cooled, and this aromatic amine, 1 to 2 ml of concentrated HCl and NaNO2, this when 3 combine together, this combination is then transferred to a test tube, and this test tube already contains the beta naphthol in NaOH. After transferring it in the beta naphthol in NaOH, there is the formation of orange color dye. This orange color dye formation helps us to understand that there is the presence of amino group. Diazotization reaction, that means there is the formation of orange dye, and since the presence of orange dye, we get the orange dye formed or produced. We say that there is the presence of amino group, and this all reaction here it is carried out at 0 degree Celsius. Next we are going to see alkylation of amines, or Hofmann's exhaustive alkylation. In last session I have told you that alkylation means what? The addition of alkyl group to the nitrogen atom. So here first the general reaction is given, where the primary amine is there. On the arrow you can see there is the Rx, that is alkyl halide. And what we get? We get the secondary amine. Again secondary amine is reacted with tertiary amine, and tertiary amine again reacted with alkyl halide, it gives the tetraalkyl ammonium halide. In the last step we get tetraalkyl ammonium halide. If we take the example of by taking the methyl group in place of alkyl group, so here what we can say that here at last what we get? First you can see that primary amine is given, it reacts with methyl iodide. This methyl iodide with primary amine is heated, we get the secondary amine. Again secondary amine is heated with methyl iodide, we get the tertiary amine, and this tertiary amine when again reacted with methyl iodide, we get the tetramethyl ammonium halide. Here alkyl group is methyl, therefore the name becomes tetramethyl ammonium halide. This was the exhaustive alkylation method of Hofmann, or you can say alkylation of amine. Again and again we make the amines to react with the alkyl halide group. Next comes the Hofmann elimination. First we saw Hofmann alkylation. Now we are going to see Hofmann elimination method. So in this method, tetraalkyl ammonium halide, what we got in the alkylation method, that we are going to take for our reaction, it is heated with moist silver oxide, and after heating it with moist silver oxide we get quaternary ammonium hydroxide. And how is this quaternary ammonium hydroxide? It is just like the base, like sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH. Again, if strongly heated, first we have just heated it. Now we are going to give the strong heating, and because of this strong heating, it undergoes beta elimination process. In alkyl group, it undergoes beta elimination process, and at last what we get? We get the alkene. That is the, here in the example we have got the ethene. This is called as the Hofmann elimination method. I hope you have understood the Hofmann elimination method. So this was all about today's session. In today's session, which topics we have covered? We have covered the influence of plus-I effect, inductive effect, influence of solvation. These both plus-I effect and solvation we have seen combinedly, that is combined both influences. Next we have seen the basicity of aryl amines, then chemical properties of amines, and then we have seen Hofmann's exhaustive alkylation, and at last we have seen the Hofmann's elimination. So this was about today's fourth session. We will see soon with our last session, and in the next last session our chapter will get completed. So study well and get ready for the last session. Thank you.